Alright guys, we talked about the Agoge structure, the project itself. This time I want to talk about the Agoge training structure. So you got the structure last week. If you saw that video or you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. This will make a little more sense. When it comes to the Agoge training structure, I use what I call the P.M.A.C system. This is something I created that I think makes it really easy for people to understand because you're getting all the components of your tactic. So P.M.A.C, principle, mechanics, application, and context. Let me break this down a little bit. Principle, if you didn't see the video I put out way back about principle versus technique, go watch that. This will make a lot more sense, but briefly, the principle itself is why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't understand why you're doing it, if something for any reason stops working, you can't fix it. You can't adapt, you can't improvise because you didn't understand why you were doing what you were doing in the first place. So that is your principle, understanding why you are doing what you are doing. Your mechanics, that is how do you do it. This is the breakdown. It's taking the tactic that you were doing and taking it down to its basic components and learning each part of that so you understand how this stuff starts to work. So first we're learning why you're doing it, then we learn how to do it. This is everything, pivot, striking surface, target surface, rotation, the kinetic chain. How does this all work together? You're starting to learn how to physically do the tactic. And then we get into application. That's when you do it. So you learn why you do it, how you do it, and now you're doing it. This is application. This is when you're starting to put it together. Full speed, you're starting to hit the pads, you're starting to really practice this stuff. Once you understand how to do it, now the question is when do you do it? And that's the last one, which is C, or context. What is the context that you would use this specific tactic? So what we do is, let's say you've been working this application side. You're hitting the pad, you're starting to be able to develop some power, you're learning to do all the things you need to do, and now you're trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I use this? So we'll give you a scenario. You'll see a video, is okay, let's just take a shell or a rhino for the sake of this conversation. I walk up, guy pushes me against the car, postures up, starts to swing, I see it, I load up, I hit him with a rhino. Oh, okay, now I understand when I would have used that tactic. I gave it some context. So P.M.A.C, principle, mechanics, application, and context. I hope that makes sense. Every video that I do, that is my formula. That is my model of how I will teach. I need you to understand why you do it, how you do it, doing it, and then when are you going to do this. Hope that makes sense, guys. Other than that, that's it.